Welcome to Stoic Flame channel.
Have you ever felt caught in a relentless struggle, where stress seems to be winning every battle? You try to control every detail, every outcome, every aspect of your life, but the harder you push, the more it feels like everything is slipping through your fingers. That anxious grip on control leaves you exhausted, frustrated, and further away from what you truly desire. But what if, instead of desperately holding on tighter, you learned the profound art of letting go? What if the real power to manifest your deepest desires wasn't found in relentless striving, but in a state of calm trust and alignment? This isn't about magic tricks or passively waiting for things to happen. It's about discovering powerful, timeless principles inspired by Stoic philosophy that teach you how to release stress, reclaim control over your inner world, and effortlessly attract the life you've always dreamed of. Life has a strange way of teaching us lessons. The more we obsess over results, the more frustrated we become. True transformation begins when you shift your mindset from anxiety and frustration to a profound sense of calm and certainty. This article will guide you through 10 powerful ways to embrace this paradox, drawing on ancient wisdom and modern insights to help you unlock the immense power that already lies within you. 1. The profound power of letting go. Surrender to the flow. Our innate desire for control can feel like an anchor, holding us back rather than propelling us forward. Imagine clutching a handful of sand at the beach. The tighter you squeeze, the faster the grains slip through your fingers, leaving you with less than you started. Doesn't that sound familiar? It's a vivid metaphor for life. The more you fight to dominate every detail, the faster everything seems to fall apart, trapping you in a cycle of exhaustion and frustration. Clinging to constant control is like trying to drive a car with the handbrake on. You burn out and stay stuck. But release that brake, and you move forward with ease. Letting go is not about giving up. It's about trusting the process. When you release that tight grip, something truly amazing happens. Things begin to fall into place on their own. The Stoics, masters of ancient wisdom, understood this dance between effort and surrender. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and philosopher, taught the timeless lesson of acceptance. Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart. He's telling us to stop wasting energy flooring the gas pedal while the handbrake is still on. Epictetus further emphasized that we suffer not because of what happens, but because of our attachment to what we want to happen. He famously said, "Do not seek for things to happen the way you want them to. Rather wish that what happens happens as it should, and you will be happy." This means detaching your happiness from specific outcomes and focusing on what you can control: your actions, your discipline, your mindset. Consider Javier, a top executive who seemed to have everything under control: the packed schedule, big decisions, constant pressure to never fail. But at what cost? One day, mid-presentation, his body said enough. A panic attack left him completely frozen, vulnerable for the first time in years. In that moment, a profound question screamed within him: what am I doing with my life? On a friend's advice, Javier did the unimaginable. He disconnected. He sought refuge in a cabin in the mountains. No emails, no phone calls, just him and silence. Initially, his mind raced, worrying about the office. But slowly, something shifted. As he walked the trails, listening to the wind, a phrase from Marcus Aurelius resonated: accept everything that happens, even if it's different from what you expected. In that moment, a fog lifted. Javier realized he didn't have to control everything for things to work out. Upon returning to the city, he stopped cramming every gap in his schedule with meetings, instead making space for reflection, self-care, and family. The surprising outcome: things didn't fall apart. In fact, they got better. The work atmosphere improved, results skyrocketed, and for the first time in a long while, Javier felt at peace. This profound change occurred simply because he let go of the frantic need to control. Here are practical steps to cultivate this transformative skill. Write your worries away, jot down your anxieties on a piece of paper. Acknowledge your attempts to control it, then deliberately crumple the paper and discard it. This symbolic act tells your mind, "This doesn't weigh on me anymore." The red light pause. Whenever something deviates from your plan, take a few seconds to breathe deeply. Inhale to a count of 4, hold, and exhale to a count of 6. This brief pause is your daily reminder that sometimes, stopping is the only way to move forward with clarity. Schedule nothing time. Make deliberate space in your schedule, even if it's just 15 minutes, for absolutely nothing. Use this time to listen to music, gaze at the sky, or simply embrace silence. These are the moments when your clearest ideas and deepest desires have room to surface, allowing you to think clearly and manifest everything you desire. When you stop trying to control every moment, life doesn't fall apart, it begins to beautifully take shape. This isn't magic, it's the clarity that emerges when you free up mental and emotional space previously wasted on things beyond your influence. 2. Cultivating a powerful mindset. Your mind, your best ally. Think of your mind as an intricate puzzle. When all the pieces are scattered and disorganized, it's impossible to see the full picture. Everything feels chaotic. But when you take a moment to sort them, grouping by color, by shape, suddenly, the picture begins to emerge. This is precisely how your mind works. If it's cluttered with disorganized thoughts, worries, and stress, clarity is elusive. But when you give it calm and space, a profound relief washes over you, and everything starts to fall into place. Your mind is your most powerful tool in manifestation. It's the command center for your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions, the very ingredients that shape your reality. Picture your mind as a fertile garden. If you plant seeds of doubt, fear, and negativity, your garden will be overrun with weeds. But if you nurture it with positivity, love, and belief, you will cultivate a flourishing landscape where your dreams can blossom. The challenge is that our minds can often be unruly, a chaotic mess of swirling thoughts. However, with practice and the right tools, you can calm the storm and harness your mind's incredible power for manifestation. As the Buddha wisely observed, the mind is everything. What you think you become. Psychologist William James, often called the father of modern psychology, profoundly stated, "The greatest weapon against stress is our ability to choose one thought over another." This aligns perfectly with Stoic teachings. You don't have to believe every thought that enters your mind or let every difficult moment define you. Instead, you can train yourself to reframe situations, stepping back to see them from a new perspective. Consider the extraordinary case of Captain Chesley Sully Sullenberger. Faced with a nightmare scenario, both engines of his commercial airplane failing after striking birds, leaving him with over 150 people on board, and only a crowded city and icy river ahead, what would most people do? Panic. But Sully did something different. He closed his eyes for a split second, took a deep breath, and visualized his course of action, landing the plane on the Hudson River. In his mind, there was no room for chaos. He trusted his experience, his team, and, most importantly, his ability to stay calm. He spoke in a firm, clear voice, brace for impact, a declaration of confidence. Thanks to his calm, focused mind, Sully achieved the extraordinary, saving every life on board. Epictetus was right. What disturbs us is not what happens, but our thoughts about it. Sully couldn't control the engines, but he controlled his mind, turning chaos into clarity and salvation. To train your mind to be your best ally, you need to learn to organize your mental puzzle pieces. Mindfulness meditation. One of the most effective ways to find inner stillness is through mindfulness meditation. It's not about complex poses, but simply taking moments each day to disconnect from external noise and reconnect with your inner world. Find a quiet space, close your eyes, and focus on your breath. As thoughts arise, observe them without judgment, like clouds drifting across the sky, and gently redirect your attention back to your breath. As the French philosopher Blaise Pascal noted, all of humanity's problems stem from man's inability to sit quietly in a room alone. Meditation is hitting the pause button on your mind, allowing you to step back from chaos and reconnect with inner peace. Affirmations. These are positive statements you repeat, aloud or silently, to reprogram your subconscious mind and align your beliefs with your desires. For example, I am worthy of love, or I am surrounded by loving and supportive people. Choose affirmations that resonate and repeat them regularly with conviction and emotion. Think of them as planting seeds of positive belief in your mental garden. The more you nurture them, the stronger they grow. Sorting mental worries. Spend 5 minutes a day thinking about all the worries cluttering your mind, like scattered puzzle pieces. But here's the trick. Don't try to solve everything at once. Imagine you're stressed about a work deadline, an argument with a friend, and financial concerns. Dedicate 5 minutes to sorting them. Work in a yellow corner for immediate action, the argument in orange for later resolution, and finances in a red pouch for a dedicated budget review. By separating and placing them, you gain clarity. Not everything is jumbled, fighting for attention. This simple act lightens your mind, giving you a sense of progress where once there was overwhelming chaos. Awareness of inner dialogue. Pay attention to the stories you tell yourself. Are you constantly feeding yourself thoughts of fear, doubt, and negativity, or are you training yourself to see opportunities, reframe situations, and stay calm? Your mind is a garden. What you plant is what grows. Plant seeds of strength, clarity, and resilience. When your mind is calm, you not only feel better but also open yourself to possibilities that once seemed unreachable. A clear mind has the power to manifest what you truly desire. 3. The art of calm action. Move with purpose, not desperation. Have you ever noticed how rushing often burns everything faster, leaving results far from what you intended? Whether it's cooking a special dinner or tackling a crucial project, rushing doesn't just ruin outcomes, it ruins opportunities. Calmness isn't slowness, it's a strategy. It's about doing things at the pace they need to flow smoothly and come out right. Imagine you're preparing a special dinner, but you're late and start chopping ingredients in a frantic rush. Vegetables are uneven, sauce spills, pasta overcooks because you're distracted. The result is nothing like your vision. Now, picture the opposite. You give yourself time. You chop carefully, enjoying the process, tasting the sauce, adjusting flavors. The pasta turns out perfectly al dente, and you enjoyed the entire experience. The delicious dish and your enjoyment are no coincidence. Often, we rush because we compare ourselves to others, as if life were a race. But everyone has their own rhythm. Trying to force your pace to someone else's is like trying to make a plant grow faster by staring at it. Marcus Aurelius understood this, stating, "The mind is like water. When it's calm, it reflects the world clearly." As an emperor with immense responsibilities, he didn't tackle everything at once. He reflected, prioritized, and acted with calm, making wise decisions even amidst crises. It wasn't about doing things faster, but doing them better. There is a powerful distinction between chasing and attracting. Desperate action stems from fear of missing out, fear of failure, fear of not being enough. Purposeful action, however, comes from a place of clarity and strength. Epictetus advised, first say to yourself what you would be, then do what you have to do. This means clarifying your intentions before you act. Consider two individuals searching for a job. The first is desperate. They send applications everywhere, even for jobs they don't want, panicking over every rejection. Their energy is scattered, anxious, and uncertain. The second person is focused. They know their strengths, craft meaningful applications, and prepare thoroughly without obsessing over immediate results. Who is more likely to get hired? The one who is calm, confident, and strategic, not the one acting from fear. This applies to relationships too. Entering a relationship out of desperation, fearing loneliness, seeking validation often leads to disappointment. But approaching relationships with self-respect and confidence naturally attracts healthier, more fulfilling connections. People are drawn to those secure in themselves, not those grasping for attention. Aristotle spoke of eudaimonia, a state of living with purpose and fulfillment, believing that true happiness comes from aligning actions with virtues and values, letting outcomes take care of themselves. Here's how to cultivate calm action. The 2-minute pause. Before starting any task, stop for 2 minutes. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, what's the most important thing I can do right now? Mentally organize your steps as if tidying your mind's desk. This simple ritual provides clarity and helps you act from a relaxed state, allowing things to flow better. Embrace single tasking. Stop wasting time on multitasking. While it seems like juggling several things is key to success, the truth is you won't do any of them well. Pick one task, just one, and give it your full attention. Like planting a seed, if you give it the care and time it needs, it will grow strong. Once finished, move to the next. You'll not only get more done, but you'll do it better. Get clear on your why before acting. Ask yourself, am I doing this because I truly want it, or because I'm afraid of not having it? This clarifies your motivation. Slow down decisions. Desperation rushes. Purpose moves with patience. Instead of making fear-based decisions, give yourself time to reflect and choose wisely. Trust yourself. You don't need to force things into place. When you act with confidence and alignment, opportunities naturally come your way. Seneca observed, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Much desperation comes from imagined fears. With calmness, you create the space for what you truly desire to manifest more clearly. As Ralph Waldo Emerson wisely stated, adopt the pace of nature. Her secret is patience. Calmness improves results and lets you enjoy the process. When you choose to move forward calmly, savoring each step, everything begins to flow, and you feel more in control, more at peace. 4. The magnetism of gratitude. Appreciate what you already have. Imagine someone hands you a beautifully wrapped box, telling you it contains everything you're missing in life, everything that would transform your world. Excited, you open it, expecting something extraordinary, but all you see is a mirror. At first, you're confused, then it hits you, you don't need more. You just need to see what you already have through new eyes. So often, we are fixated on what's next, what we're chasing, that we forget to appreciate where we are now. But here's the secret. When you begin to be grateful for what you already have, something profound shifts. Life feels lighter, stress fades, and almost like magic, you begin to attract more good things into your life. Gratitude is a superpower, a secret weapon in your manifesting arsenal. When you express gratitude, you're sending a powerful message to the universe that you're open to receiving more. It's like saying, "Hey universe, I appreciate all the good stuff you've already given me, and I'm ready for more." Consider the story of a farmer who constantly complained about his small, uncomfortable house. "There's no space, I can't rest. Why does this have to be my life?" He bemoaned, convinced a bigger, nicer house would solve everything. Desperate, he sought advice from the village wise man. The wise man listened, then gave peculiar instructions: "Bring your chickens inside the house." Surprised, the farmer obeyed. The next day, he returned complaining, "This is worse. I can't move with all these chickens." The wise man smiled and said, "Now bring the pig inside." By the third day, The farmer was furious. "This is a disaster. I can't take it anymore." The wise man then told him, "Now take the chickens and the pig out." When the farmer returned home, he experienced something incredible. Suddenly, his small house felt spacious and peaceful. The house hadn't changed, but his perspective had. For the first time, he appreciated what he had. Gratitude doesn't change your circumstances, but it fundamentally changes the way you see them. When you shift your perspective, you start noticing opportunities that were previously hidden. Psychologist Robert Emmons explains that being grateful for what you have acts like a magic wand, helping you see opportunities where you once only saw problems. This magic aligns you with what truly matters and helps you attract more. The Stoics made gratitude a daily practice, giving thanks for simple things like bread, the sunrise, or meaningful conversations. Seneca said, "Nothing is more honorable than a grateful heart." By training yourself to see the good, you stop wasting energy on what's missing and open the door to manifesting even more good things. Here's how to practice gratitude. Weekly gratitude reflection. Once a week, find a quiet spot with paper and pen. Write down 3 things you're truly grateful for. The trick is to then ask yourself, how have these things contributed to what I want to achieve? For example, a friend's support might have kept you strong, or a challenge revealed what truly matters. Reflecting on this not only helps you relax but also aligns your mind with your goals. The more you focus on the good you already have, the easier it becomes to attract what you want. Acts of kindness. When you help others, you not only spread joy and positivity but also reinforce your own sense of gratitude. It's a boomerang. The more you give, the more you receive. Embody abundance. Instead of focusing on what's missing, focus on what's already here. Act as if you already have enough, moving through life with confidence, knowing opportunities are everywhere. Release attachment, trusting that what's meant for you will come through alignment, not force. Epictetus noted, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." True abundance is realizing you already have everything needed for a fulfilled life, and when you stop operating from a mindset of scarcity, you make room for more. 5. Disconnecting to reconnect. Embrace silence and connection. Have you ever tried to enjoy your favorite song amidst blaring car horns, sirens, and shouting? The noise drowns out the music, right? That's often how we live today, a constant barrage of notifications, conversations, and news alerts bombard us, making it impossible to focus on what truly matters. How can you discover what you truly want if your mind is trapped in constant chaos? If you don't silence that external noise and create space, you'll never hear the music inside you. All that external noise, scrolling social media, consuming endless headlines doesn't just steal your time. It fills your mind with things that pull you further from your true desires. Every notification, every comparison, is like adding another layer of dust to a window. How can you see clearly when everything is smudged? But if you stop, if you disconnect for a moment, it's like wiping that window clean. Suddenly, you can see what's on the other side of your ideas, your dreams, the opportunities that have always been there but went unnoticed. Epictetus said centuries ago, "The free man is the one who is not afraid to go to the end of his thoughts." To do this, you need to turn off the external noise. You can't reflect on your deepest desires when your mind is trapped in a constant barrage of distractions. Silence is the fertile ground where your thoughts have the freedom to grow, transform into actions, and eventually into results. Imagine your mind as a tranquil lake. When its surface is choppy with waves of thoughts, worries, and distractions, it's difficult to see its depths, to connect with the stillness and clarity beneath. But when the lake is calm and still, you can see all the way to the bottom, to the treasures hidden within. Silence is that stillness. It allows you to tune out external noise and tune into your inner wisdom, intuition, and connection to something greater than yourself. This connection is essential for manifestation. When you are aligned with your true desires, passions, and purpose, you become more receptive to the subtle whispers and guidance of the universe. Here's how to disconnect from the noise and embrace silence. The no notification day. You don't have to turn off your phone entirely. Instead, set specific times to check messages, for example, only at 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. The rest of the time, ignore them. This creates space to focus on your projects, stick to your rituals, and, most importantly, be present. Spend time in nature. It doesn't need to be an epic hike. A nearby park or your backyard will suffice. Take 10 minutes to simply listen to the sounds around you, the wind, the birds, the crunch of leaves. Leave your headphones at home. Nature reminds you of a slower, more authentic rhythm. Journaling, writing down your thoughts and feelings can help you gain clarity, process emotions, and uncover hidden beliefs that might be blocking your manifestation journey. Think of it as writing a letter to your soul, a conversation between your conscious and subconscious mind. When you turn off the noise, your mind becomes fertile ground where ideas and desires can bloom. It's in this space of stillness that you can truly focus on what you want and begin manifesting it step by step. 6. The restorative power of sleep, recharging your mind and body. Have you ever tried to use your phone when it's down to 10% battery? Everything slows, apps stop responding, and soon, it shuts off completely. How often do you live your life with your body and mind running at 10%? Imagine starting every morning with your battery at 100%. You might think you don't have time to rest, or that you need to use every moment to get things done. But this mindset does more harm than good, pulling you further from the life you want. The truth is, rest isn't wasting time. It's the best investment you can make in yourself. It's the time your mind and body prepare to shine the next day, a space where they can truly regenerate and recharge. Think of your body and mind like a car. If you don't change the oil, tune the engine, or check the brakes, it might run for a while, but eventually, it will break down. They need a nightly checkup. When you rest well, you don't just feel better. You think better, make better decisions, and are in a much clearer position to manifest what you truly desire. This isn't just a metaphor. Science backs it up. A study from the Center for Neuroscience at the University of Rochester found that during sleep, your brain removes toxins built up during the day. It's like a tiny cleaning crew sweeping away worries and stress, leaving everything ready for a fresh start. When you sleep well, you wake up as if you've hit the reset button, clear-headed, focused, and ready to tackle what truly matters. Aristotle believed that sleep is the best meditation. He recognized that sleep is not just for physical rest but also for mental and spiritual rejuvenation, a time for your subconscious mind to connect with the deeper wisdom of the universe and align with your intentions. Immanuel Kant also recognized sleep's importance for clear thinking and creativity. Even Marcus Aurelius, a great emperor burdened with immense responsibilities, understood this perfectly. He famously said, "Even the soul needs rest to be effective." He knew he couldn't give his best without time to recover, treating rest not as a luxury but as a strategy. He reflected at the end of each day, disconnecting from the worries of leadership. If an emperor could find time to rest, why can't you? Here's a simple nighttime ritual to make rest a reality. Digital detox. Turn off all screens at least 30 minutes before bed. Pick up a relaxing book, a light novel, or something inspiring that won't overstimulate you. Set intentions for tomorrow. Write your intentions for the next day in a notebook. For example, tomorrow, I'll dedicate an hour to that project I'm excited about, or I'll truly listen in every conversation. This not only relaxes you but also aligns your mind with what you want to achieve. Deep breathing. Spend 5 minutes breathing deeply as you settle into bed. Simply inhale and exhale slowly. The next time you think of sleep as merely a basic necessity, remember this: even the brightest stars need the darkness to shine, and you are no exception. 7. Embracing the path of progress, learning from failures, and cultivating patience. Let me tell you something you might not want to hear. Failure is inevitable. Think of your failures as the first strokes on a blank canvas. At first, they might look like meaningless smudges, but with every additional stroke, the complete picture starts to take shape. The good news is, it's not the end of the world. It's just the beginning of something better. Did you know that many of history's greatest inventions began as mistakes? Take the Post-it note, a product you likely use every day. In the 1970s, Spencer Silver, a scientist at 3M, was trying to create a super strong adhesive but instead developed the opposite, a weak adhesive that barely stuck. What seemed like a failure was shelved for years. Then, his colleague Art Fry had a brilliant idea. He used that weak adhesive to create notes that could stick and peel off easily without leaving marks. The indispensable Post-it was born from a failure. This illustrates that it's not about avoiding failure, but about how you face it. As Epictetus wisely said, it's not what happens to you but how you react to it that matters. Your mistakes don't define who you are, but they can shape where you're going if you use them as tools. Every stumble can become a step towards something far greater. Failures may feel like enormous walls, but they are actually doors waiting to be opened. Patience is one of the hardest virtues to practice, especially when you're working towards something important. You put in the effort, do everything right, yet nothing seems to happen. It's frustrating, isn't it? The world tells us success should come quickly, that instant results validate our efforts. But life doesn't operate on our schedule. It moves according to its own rhythm, and trying to rush the process often leads to disappointment. Epictetus profoundly stated, "No great thing is created suddenly. Anything truly valuable, wisdom, strength, success takes time to develop. Just as you can't force a tree to grow faster by pulling on its branches, you can't force life to give you what you want before the time is right." Think of an artist pouring their heart into their craft, dreaming of making a name for themselves, yet not seeing the recognition they desire. They have two choices: crumble under frustration or trust that every brush stroke, every piece of work, is preparing them for something greater. Those who trust the process keep going, eventually finding themselves exactly where they're meant to be. Socrates captured this perfectly. To do is to be. Growth is in the process, not just the outcome. Here's how to embrace failures and cultivate patience. Ease up on yourself. We often demand perfection, leading to a distorted view of our mistakes. How many opportunities have you avoided due to fear of failure? When you allow yourself to fail, you also allow yourself to learn. It's a rehearsal. It doesn't have to be perfect the first time, as every attempt brings you closer. Use mistakes as a staircase. Every failure is a step that takes you higher, but only if you choose to climb it. If you mess something up, ask, what can I take from this? What will I do differently next time? Every lesson makes you stronger, wiser, and better prepared. Focus on the present. Don't get stuck in past mistakes as if they're unbreakable chains. What you did before doesn't define what you'll do now. You have new tools, new knowledge, and a new opportunity. Ask yourself, what can I do today to prove to myself that I've grown? With every new attempt, you're building something better. Trust the timing. You can't control the timing of outcomes, but you can control your actions. Keep showing up, keep putting in the work, keep growing. Trust that if something is meant for you, it will come, not a second too early or too late. Marcus Aurelius advised, accept the things to which fate binds you and love the people with whom fate brings you together. If things aren't happening as fast as you want, perhaps you are still in the process of becoming the person ready for them. When you change how you view your failures, you relax, no longer feeling the constant pressure to be perfect. In that calm state, things start to flow naturally. The path that once seemed full of obstacles begins to clear, and the more relaxed you are, the easier it becomes to attract what you truly desire. Failures aren't the end, they're the spark that ignites something new. 8. Visualizing your reality, imagine it, and make it real. Close your eyes for a moment. Picture yourself in a movie theater. The lights dim, the projector hums, and on the screen, something unexpected appears. It's you. You are the main character in the story of your life, exactly as you've always dreamed it. Your goals achieved, inspiring people around you, moments that make your heart race, every detail vividly clear, as if it's already happening. What would this movie look like if you were the director? Visualization isn't just a pleasant daydream, it's a powerful tool. It's like writing the script for that movie before the cameras even start rolling. When you take the time to vividly imagine what you want, you're not just dreaming, you're training your mind to make it real. Everything you build externally begins within. As Seneca advised, no wind is favorable for the sailor who doesn't know where he's going. You need a clear vision, a direction to guide you. The key is not just to imagine it, but to feel it as if it's already happening. That's the magic. It helps you relax, align with your desires, and move toward them with confidence. Psychologist and author Joe Dispenza explains that your brain doesn't distinguish between what you vividly imagine and what actually happens. When you visualize in detail, your mind interprets it as real, creating an invisible blueprint for what you want to build. This changes everything: how you move through the world, your energy, your decisions, and even the opportunities that come your way begin to align with that vision. It's like tuning an instrument. Suddenly, everything sounds the way it should. Think of an athlete training for a marathon. They don't just show up on race day unprepared. They spend months visualizing themselves running the course, feeling the pavement, the wind, the cheers, picturing themselves crossing the finish line victoriously. That mental rehearsal is key to success, programming the mind and body, building confidence and resilience. The same principle applies to manifestation. William James believed that human beings can alter their lives by altering their attitudes of mind, and visualization is a powerful way to do this, shifting focus from what we lack to what we desire. Aristotle believed the soul never thinks without a picture, meaning our thoughts are linked to images, and positive images create positive thoughts and experiences. Here's how to make visualization a part of your life. Daily detail visualization. Spend 5 minutes a day closing your eyes and visualizing your goal in vivid detail. Don't just picture what you want, live it mentally. If your goal is to write a book, imagine yourself typing the final page, seeing your name on the cover, holding the book. How does it feel? What emotions run through you? Engage all your senses. Visualize not just the end goal, but the steps to get there, taking action, overcoming challenges, celebrating successes. Write goals as already achieved. This isn't just a list, it's a declaration. Instead of "I want to have my own business," write, "I have a successful business where I do what I love." Fill it with details, your daily routine, your impact. Make it relaxing. Don't treat this as another task. See it as a moment to enjoy. Play soft music, sit in a quiet place, and allow yourself to dream. Dreaming isn't wasting time, it's giving your mind the direction it needs to start building what you desire. You can even create a vision board with images and affirmations representing your desires. Everything begins in your mind. When you imagine with clarity, you take the first step toward making it a reality. It's not just about dreaming, it's about using those dreams as a compass to guide your actions. 9. Trusting the journey. Aligned action and patience. Imagine you've planted carrot seeds in your garden. You prepare the soil, plant them, and water daily. In the first week, you eagerly check for sprouts, but nothing. Am I doing something wrong? You wonder. examining the dirt. You keep watering patiently, but another week passes, still nothing. Frustration creeps in. What you can't see is what's happening underground. The roots are diligently growing, preparing to break through the surface. From above, it looks like nothing is happening, which can be maddening. But don't give up, all that effort is bearing fruit, even if unseen. And when those first shoots appear, it will all have been worth it, because carrots aren't in a hurry, but when they come, they're here to stay strong, steady, just as you imagined. The same applies when you're trying to manifest your desires. Even if it seems like nothing is changing, everything is moving in the right direction. Your intentions, efforts, and energy are paving a path you just can't see yet. And when you least expect it, the results will arrive. No one likes to wait. But what if patience isn't just sitting around, but believing that while you do your part, the universe is doing its part too? As Marcus Aurelius said, nature doesn't rush, yet everything is accomplished. Think about a river. No matter how many twists and rocks it encounters, it never stops. It always reaches its destination, the ocean. There's a crucial difference between aligned action and desperate action. Seneca stated, "Effort and patience will achieve more than force and anxiety." We often glorify the grind, believing if we work hard enough, things must go our way. But true success isn't blind effort, it's taking the right steps, staying open to opportunity, and then allowing life to unfold. Forcing things creates resistance, like pulling a knot tighter. You can't force yourself to sleep. The more you try, the more restless you become. But when you relax and trust, sleep comes naturally. The same is true for success, relationships, and personal growth. You take action, but you also trust the process. Consider a farmer planting seeds. They prepare the soil, plant, water, and ensure sunlight. But then, they don't dig up the seeds daily, demanding faster growth. They trust that in time, the crops will flourish. Life works the same way. You do your part, then trust things will develop at their own pace. Imagine you've decided your life needs a radical change, quitting your office job, selling everything, and traveling the world. Exciting, right? But the first few weeks are a disaster. Savings disappear faster than expected, jobs aren't there, and you question your decision. You try to control everything, obsessing over an immediate solution. But then you remember, you need to trust in what's coming. You relax, write intentions, visualize clearly, and let go of some control. Then, something unexpected happens. In a casual conversation, someone mentions a work exchange program where you can stay with hosts while traveling. "This is exactly what I needed," you exclaim. You wouldn't have found it if you hadn't let your guard down and trusted. Trust doesn't mean passively waiting. You have to work, but you also need to relax and manifest with calm. And when doubts creep in, as they will, repeat, "I'm doing my part, the rest will come in its time." Write it down somewhere. You'll see it daily. It's a reminder that you're not alone in this process. Here's how to cultivate trust and aligned action. Get clear and take steps. Define your goal and take the necessary preparation, training, and learning steps. Do your part. Release control of outcomes. Let go of the need to control when and how results show up. Accept that timing isn't always up to you. Trust your resilience. Even if things don't go as planned, trust that you'll adapt, grow, and find new opportunities. Recognize the dichotomy of control. The Stoics believe there are things we can influence and things we can't. Wasting energy on the uncontrollable only leads to frustration. Practice acceptance. Life won't always go according to plan, but that doesn't mean it's going wrong. Sometimes detours lead to better destinations. Build self-trust. Trust that you can handle whatever comes, even if it's unexpected. Never forget, trust in what's coming. While you're planting the seed, life is already working to make it grow. And when you least expect it, you'll be surprised by the fruits you never imagined would come. Finally, your best is yet to come. We've embarked on a journey of profound self-discovery, exploring how to bridge the gap between where you are and where you yearn to be. This isn't about grasping for fleeting desires, but about awakening the powerful force that lies dormant within you. As the ancient Stoics understood, the real battle is always within, training your mind to focus on what can be shaped and letting go of the rest. The path to manifesting everything you desire is a holistic one, encompassing key principles, harnessing the power of your mind through mindfulness and positive affirmations, going with the flow and surrendering the illusion of control to life's natural rhythm, manifesting with gratitude by appreciating what you have, knowing that an attitude of abundance attracts more, using the power of attraction, aligning your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions with your desires, being mindful of abundance, cultivating presence and openness to the possibilities around you, tapping into the power of sleep, allowing your subconscious mind to work on your behalf and rejuvenate, starting your day with intention, setting a positive tone and charting your course for success, visualizing your goals, creating vivid mental blueprints that your mind then works to bring into reality, breathing with purpose, using your breath as a powerful tool to connect with your inner self and infuse intentions with life force, embracing silence and connection, tuning out external noise to hear your inner wisdom and intuition. This journey requires patience, persistence, and self-compassion. It's about taking responsibility for your thoughts, emotions, and actions, showing up for yourself day after day, and consciously creating a life that truly reflects your values and aspirations. When you learn to relax, trust, and align with these principles, you unlock a world of possibilities. You create a life filled with joy, abundance, and fulfillment. Embrace every pause, every visualization, every act of letting go and trusting as an opportunity to draw closer to what you truly desire. In that calm and trust, there is no emptiness, only infinite possibility. That's where your dreams are born, and where they begin to take shape in reality. Your best is truly yet to come. If this video speaks to you, don't forget to subscribe now and click the playlist on your screen to unlock the treasure trove of stories, strategies, and Stoic wisdom. Let's level up together. Fuel your ambition, fortify your mind, and join me next time as we rise above all limits.